Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of In the Abyss. I'm Rob Adams of the Actors Workshop, and today we are going to do our third Kino Lorber unboxing. Why do I like to do these unboxings? Is it because I want to show off the movies I just purchased? Not really. I mean, I guess kind of in the way of, I guess in this aspect, okay? I want my actors to be able to see a couple things. I want you guys to see the old movies, right? How they were made, what made them great, how old Hollywood used to be a lot more creative. They could do a lot more in a shorter period of time, film-wise. And then also being able to see how different directors and different movie makers of today got their ideas and took from those earlier movies. But I also want you to see the early actors and actresses. There are so many of them. They're so terrific. They kind of gotten lost over time because when I was a kid, these things would be on TV. You know, even if you think of like a TV show like I Love Lucy, that was on all the time. It's not on all the time anymore. I mean, people may know who Lucille Ball was and know that the show was called I Love Lucy, but I don't really see people being able to watch that the way we did as kids. And I think it's important to see these older actors and actresses and what made them stars. And the stars of yesterday are nothing like the stars of today. It's completely different. And also I want to promote Kino. I think Kino does an amazing job with most of their stuff. And as we discussed the last time, I really go through a checklist of what it takes to buy a Blu-ray. And narrowing it down. And the first step, of course, is a sale. The second thing is, and I have this big wish list in my cart under my account there. And what I basically do is I wait to see when the prices drop, and then I kind of just, it's addition by subtraction. And as I said before, I'll add a bunch into my cart and I'll narrow it down. And this is what I want now. And this is what I'll worry about later. And then the ones that are not on sale, they'll be on in another sale. And then I'll end up getting those, which will probably be another unboxing. So that's kind of the thought process behind why I do this for you guys. And I think from the last two, there's a lot of movies I talked about where people are like, I didn't even know that movie existed. That's the last reason is there's so many movies that are kind of being re-showed. Is that the right word? Showed? Re-seen through these companies like Criterion, Arrow, Shout Factory, and Kino. So let's open it up. And as you can see, I did not unseal it or anything. I ordered this back at the beginning of October during their Shocktober sale. I was hoping to get it before Halloween to add to my movies I wanted to watch. Fortunately, it worked out, but there are a couple in here that I will probably watch next Halloween. All right, so let's get it going. The first one in the pile is Elvis, Frankie and Johnny. As I spoke before about Elvis when I got clam bake through Kino, I'm only getting Blu-rays of Elvis that I don't have on DVD. And the majority of Elvis movies are on DVD. There's very few that are on Blu-ray. But the only two I double dipped on was King Creole, which is my favorite Elvis movie, and then Viva Las Vegas. The rest, if I have them on Blu-ray, I do not have them on DVD and vice versa. Frankie and Johnny is one of those ones where I've never owned. I've seen it before. I like it. It's once again, it's a typical Elvis film. It's a lot of fun. This one's on a steamboat back in the time, and they're actors who do a staged play on the boat, and they sing and do all that kind of stuff. Has a lot of fun, a lot of banter, and just another one in that typical Elvis line. If you like Elvis, you'll like his movies. If you don't, you won't. I love him. I love all his movies. Of course, some are better than others. This is just another one I was waiting for. I think it was under $10. It was time to get it. All right. Next in line is one of the ones I got for Halloween. Part of the Bob Hope, Paulette Goddard movies they did together, and that is the Ghost Breakers. And this is kind of the beginning of the genre of kind of a mystery horror thriller with some comedy. And Bob Hope, of course, was a legend. You go to NBC, you turn on the Bob Hope Drive to go park. I mean, he is the man. Bob Hope Airport. You know, there's you know, he's a legend. And it's funny, I don't own any of his movies until now. And so this was one of the ones I wanted to get and watch during October. I probably will cheat and watch it before next October, but if not, it will for sure be one of those ones I watch during that month. The second one of them, Bob Hope, Paulette Goddard, The Cat and the Canary. Just reading reviews, this one rates a little higher than the Ghost Breakers, but they're right up there, and they're kind of two movies that kind of go hand in hand from the standpoint of, like I said, the horror thriller meets comedy. And Bob Hope and Paulette Goddard are terrific together. They have a great chemistry, great banter, great energy. And this was the other one of the two that I was hoping to receive before the end of the month. But it is what it is. I'm able to show you guys these movies and be able to hopefully get them to put on your list to check out and be able to watch. I think the reason why they didn't come was when I purchased them, they were out of stock, and they won't ship the whole thing until all stock is in. So in any case, it's another one that I'll probably cheat with. But if I don't, I will watch it next year. All right, Errol Flynn, Maureen O'Hara, Against All Flags. Errol Flynn is one of those actors I'm starting to try to collect some of his older movies. The ones I really want, I'm not finding on Blu-ray. I'm finding on DVD, so I'm going to hold off until these come to Blu-ray. But the ones that do rank well, I already have Robin Hood, of course. This is my second Errol Flynn, Against All Flags. This was one I've been waiting for to go on sale. It finally did, and I was able to get it. It's shot beautifully. It's great. It's a typical Errol Flynn swashbuckler type film. That's really where he was the man, and he just, like I said, he fits into these kinds of movies really well, and it was one that I've been looking forward to getting. And this probably will now put me on a run of Errol Flynn movies as long as I can find him at a good price on Blu-ray. All right, Tim Matheson, Up the Creek, kind of a college type comedy. Tim Matheson, of course, of Animal House fame, along with Stephen Furst, who played Flounder in Animal House. This is another one that's been in my wish list for a while, waiting for it to drop to the price it did, to finally get it. Not a great movie, but still a fun movie, a fun 80s movie. And I remember watching this in the 80s, and I've never owned it. And so to finally be able to get it was cool. And I kind of went back and forth. Do I get it or do I not? And then I finally said, well, you know what? I've been waiting. I'll just do it. The other guy that's in this is Dan Monahan, who played Pee-wee in the Porky's movie. So if you know Porky's and Animal House, this is Animal House meets Porky's, and it's done, where these guys are the Animal House of this movie who are fighting the alphas, that kind of thing. And, at the end here, it's a race on the rapids, you know what I mean? And it's a boat race. But there's some good actors in it, and the good part about this movie is they're not trying to rekindle Animal House or Porky's. They're just using these actors and capitalizing on their fame of the time and making another one of these type 80s films. And it's a fun movie, and if you watch it for what it is, you'll enjoy it. All right, we're down to our last three. Next up is another one that's been on my wish list for a while and kind of went back and forth, and finally went ahead and got it. Clint Eastwood, Jeff Bridges, Thunderbolt, and Lightfoot. By all accounts, reading reviews about how this looks, how this sounds, this Blu-ray is done awesome. And so when I read that, like I said, it was sitting in my queue. I was waiting for it to drop in price. It finally did. And, Eastwood is always Eastwood. Jeff Bridges is always Jeff Bridges. You put them together, and it looks looks to be a fun film. I've only seen parts of this. I've never seen all of it. But I enjoy the actors in it, and so it was a done deal for me once the price dropped. All right, the last two, Rawhide. I'm not a big, and no, not Rawhide, the TV show, but I'm not a big Western guy, but I am a big fan of Tyrone Power. And Tyrone Power, who played Zorro back in the day, and Errol Flynn, who played Robin Hood back in the day, they're two of my favorite older actors. I just love what they bring to the screen. And very similar to Errol Flynn and trying to start his collection, I'm trying to do the same with Tyrone Power. And so, you know, I already have Zorro, and I just got this one that's out of print now, the Captain of Castile with Tyrone Power. So my collection's starting to build a little bit here. But this is Rawhide. This is later in his career, but once again, gets a lot of great reviews. And I figured, what the heck? I'm trying to build my Tyrone Power and Errol Flynn collection, so, you know, let's strike on it while the price is good. And you know, it was easy. So, not a big Western fan, but once in a while you have to kind of do what you got to do, because I do like to collect, and I do like to have the catalog of the actors that I really like. And he's one of those ones that is one of my favorites from back in the day, which kind of leads me into another Tyrone Power film, also starring Marlene Dietrich and Charles Laughton, and that is The Witness for the Prosecution. And when you look up top Kino films to own, Witness for the Prosecution comes up toward the top. Number 1, 2, 3, always. This one was out of print a while back, and then it was off a sale, and now finally was back on a sale, and it was the first one I put in my cart, and it was never going to come out. We talked about Charles Laughton when we talked about Island of Lost Souls during the October stuff. And then Marlene Dietrich of the time, just terrific. And then, like I just talked about with Rawhide, Tyrone Power, you know, one of my favorites from the time, and now building the collection with him. So now I'm up to 4 with Tyrone Power, 2 with Errol Flynn, and we'll keep growing. But another one that I've never seen, it's a blind buy, but it's one that I've always wanted to see, and it's always one I've wanted to own. So glad to finally have this in hand and be able to watch, and probably will watch it, you know, this weekend or whatever. But you know, that's the next group of Kinos that we have gone through. So we had the Kino sale, then we had the going out of print sale, and now we've had another sale. And I'm sure with the holidays coming up, there's going to be another sale, and then we'll have our 4th unboxing. But until then, this is another bunch of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies. Once again, the spines, all straight black, go really well to catalog them. And you know, like I said before, when I do my criterions, I catalog them by year because the years are on the front of those. With these, I catalog them alphabetically because of the spines being all the same, which is super cool. So anyways, like I said, I'm hoping that you guys want to check out some of these actors and actresses. I'm hoping you guys want to check out some of these movies, and learn once again about these older actors and actresses, and also learn about these older movies. And you'll see once again things like we were talking about Murder by Death last week in the last episode of October, how you'll see elements of Knives Out in that movie and Clue. You can see where they got their ideas. These are the originals. These are the ones that had the creative, you know, juices and the more consistent actors. And, you know, today's day and age sees these things and kind of picks and chooses what they want to use. And you'll see stuff going, that reminds me of this and that reminds me of that. And that's okay. But the OGs are always the best. So anyways, hopefully these are some movies you have heard of and have always wanted to watch. Or if you haven't heard of them, now maybe that will entice you to check them out. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, a good weekend, and we'll see you soon with our next video.